Old school. No, you're just fine exactly where you are. Hey, everybody, what's going on in 2022? This gentleman to my right became the first naturalized American citizen from Mexico elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in Arizona's history. And we get to talk to him and get to know him better on this edition of Someone You Should Know with Jeff Davenport. Oh, my goodness, we're talking to District 6 Congressman Juan Ciscomani.
My man.
Juan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Congratulations, of course, on the re-election in November. Why does it feel so like it was so long ago? First of all, it feels like it was forever ago. What would you think were the differences between 2022 and 2024? What are some of the challenges or differences that you saw in the re-election bid versus the initial election bid in 2022?
Well, it's a huge honor to be able to be elected for this seat, especially with our background and our journey to be into this country and to be given that opportunity. The American dream is alive, it's well, and we're even more excited today than we've ever been for the opportunities that are coming up. So when you look at the first time when we run, it's an open seat and there's all kinds of promises by different people. We had a vision, we had a very specific mission that we wanted to carry on, and people believed us and they went ahead and gave us the opportunity to represent them. Year two, here comes our record. Now we're running not on promises, but actually on a record that we've done. So it's a lot more tangible. And the attacks from the left, though, were 10 times worse than they were the first time. We were a target from before we even were sworn in. We were already on some target lists, and they did not let up. I mean, it was all the way through. A lot of money poured in. So we were battling against that, balancing the job, casting our vision and our mission still. So it was balancing a lot more, but we earned the support of the people again, even by a wider margin than the first time this time. So we did better.
That's pretty amazing. Again, congratulations to that. When you have to run for election every 2 years, is there any room to breathe, or is every year an election year? As we walked in here, we heard you finishing your speech to the fine folks here in the Sierra Vista backyard about how 2026 starts now. It's like, man, we just got done. So there is no room to breathe, is there, or is there just time to keep building?
Well, you got to be able to do both, and that's one thing that comes with experience and with more time in the job. That when we first ran, to answer even back of your question, for the 22 race, you're just a candidate 100% of the time. For the 24 race, you're a candidate, but you also obviously you're a member of Congress, but you're also a candidate the whole time. Now it's kind of like the same deal, right? I'm a member. We have to be delivering on the promises that we ran. But also we have to be campaigning already. This 2-year cycle is never ending. And I don't think the founding fathers ever imagined that it was going to be like this, because 2-year terms now seem so close to each other. But back, when this whole thing, 2-year term and the Constitution was established, people weren't running for election until months before the actual election date. But now the election starts 2 years ahead. So that's something new in the last few decades, but that's just the way it is, and we're going to continue to do well in it.
Well, talking about the election being behind us, what are some of your specific goals that you have laid out for this second term here for yourself?
We're going to continue to focus on the things we've been focusing on, with an even enhanced focus on decisive government, right? So I joined the Doge Caucus, and we've all heard about that with President Trump appointing Vivek Ramaswamy for that, and also Elon Musk. We've had meetings with them already, have an additional meeting next week on how we're going to be able to do that. Shave off the size of government, make sure that it works effectively for the people, that our taxpayer dollars are not going to waste. And the federal government is massive. And when I got to Washington, I realized immediately that the spending addiction is more of a Washington problem than a Democrat or Republican. The national debt has grown under both parties. So we need to get in there and really fix some things. So that's an important aspect of it. Of course, the border, the economy with inflation, all these things is what we're going to be going back to work on.
So what do you see as being the biggest issue that needs to be addressed? I mean, is it the size of government? Is it the border? Because District 6, for those who don't know, District 6 is it's a wide district. It goes really far, all the way up to Safford, to Tucson, down here to Sierra Vista. There's a lot of different rural areas that are covered, and a lot of different needs. How do you balance all that in the district and figure out what is the most important thing for your constituents?
I spend a lot of time traveling around the district, a lot of time, and part of that is when you go, you learn. And I go with the listening. attitude, right? I tell people being a representative is not a job description only. Not a job title only. It's a job description that I need to get out there and learn what the community needs and is feeling, and then take that back to Washington, be my community's voice to Washington, not Washington's voice back to the community. So that when you do that and you learn about the community, that's how you end up realizing that the priorities that we have overlap. Yeah, the particulars are different sometimes, but everybody wants to be able to afford basic needs. And when you look at the size of government, that's one of the reasons that inflation is out of control, because of the wasteful spending of Washington, D.C. We need more resources for the border, but if the resources are going in other places, then that's not going to get to where they need to get to. So it really a lot of it starts with how government is run in Washington. That's why the Doge Caucus efforts are so important.
Oh, I wanted to get to this question in just a few minutes, but I'll jump to it now. What is it like dividing your time between Washington, D.C. and then this wide area of District 6? How do you find the balance in doing that?
Well, you have to find it. When I'm home, I like to be out in the community. I have 6 kids, as you know, so I have to balance my time with family as well. I'm a flag football coach. We have practice later this weekend as well. So I try to balance it all to be able to stay plugged in with the community. When I drop kids off at school, my kids, I'm hearing from parents when I go to these practices for soccer and football. I'm hearing from parents and families. So it's about staying engaged and staying out of the community. You have to balance it. I wish I was everywhere more than I am. Yeah. But when I'm home, I like to make it count. And when we're in Washington, we're working hard. But I sleep in my office. My wife said, I want you to be so uncomfortable up there that you come back on the first flight. So I sleep in my office, man. I get back on the first flight and back here at home.
That's a great idea. It's a good incentive, definitely. Yeah. You talk about being in Washington, finding ways to reach across the political aisle is something that's very important to you. The Herald Review Media actually called you one of the most bipartisan people in Arizona. What does that mean to you to be truly bipartisan and to be counted as one of the most bipartisan?
Sure. It means that we're here to find solutions. It means that we're here to solve problems and to do it with the people that want to do it. Sometimes when we have these ideas, for example, for veterans, for border security, we've had Democrats join those ideas. So those efforts become bipartisan at that point. We've had to compromise quite a bit this last Congress because there was a divided government. Now that we have the White House, the Senate, the House of Representatives, we have an aggressive agenda that we're going to drive on, and we're going to get that done. And listen, I'm always willing to work with whoever wants to work on these ideas. Like I said, especially around veterans, the military, or border security. If Democrats want to sign up for that, the more the merrier. We're here for it.
Now, in addition to being so plugged into the community, being a flag football coach, and having your family there, being raised in Southern Arizona,
yeah.
You are Southern Arizona, born and bred. What are some of your Christmas traditions that you're looking forward to in the next couple weeks, or holiday traditions?
Yeah. Well, we have even today we have a little school concert for the kids at their school, so we go do that. The church has a concert also at the end of next week that we're going to go see. My family, we go big on the 24th, Christmas Eve. That's when we go gifts and food and party. The 25th is very chill, and that's how kind of like the tradition that we grew up with on the Hispanic side.
Yeah.
And they that's one of the big ones. My parents make all the food, thankfully, still, so we don't have to worry about that, and it's just enjoy time, family, a lot of fun.
That's great. I'm glad you're looking forward to that. And as we wrap up, just want to say, where can people learn more about you, find you, see you? Where can people reach out to you in District 6?
So first, I hope to see you all somewhere when I go and go to your event, go to your community, and please come up and say hello. Our information for the office is easy to find. You just have to, look up our name, Juan Ciscomani, .gov. Well, actually, just go to Juan Ciscomani and Google it, and it'll come up. I'm blank because we have the campaign site and then the official site.
Yeah,
I
think we have actually 2 sites that are listed in the post description. One is ciscomani.com and then ciscomani.house.gov.
There you go. That's the official one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the official one, and then the ciscomani.com is the political one. But in either one, reach out to us. We respond to this. We have one of the best response times in all of Congress for anybody that writes into our office. In between 3 to 5 business days is how long it takes, and that the average is over 14 days for the rest of the offices. But I've tasked my team to go get that done. So reach out, and I look forward to seeing you around town, as I always say.
Well, and we're grateful for your time today, reaching around here to Sierra Vista. Thank you so much. It's Congressman Juan Ciscomani, someone you should know. Thanks for watching. watching. Be sure to share this video around. Let people know about our local representatives here in our area, like Congressman Juan Ciscomani. Tag your friends, and thanks for sharing this video. Have a great day, everybody, and happy holidays to you, my friend.
Same to
Merry
you all.
Christmas.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas, guys.
Bye-bye.